Fourth Sunday of Advent. The world around us is preparing for Christmas in different ways. We're only a few days away from welcoming Jesus. Last few weeks, we have been spiritually getting ready to welcome Jesus by meditating on the words and lives of John the Baptist and Mary. While Mary bore her in her womb, John prepared the hearts and minds of the people to welcome Jesus at the beginning of his public ministry.
Saint Luke is presenting Jesus and John the Baptist as two great people Israel has ever seen. But a close reading of the Gospel accounts show that Jesus is extraordinary. John's birth is like that of Patriarch Isaac and Prophet Samuel. They are born to their parents in their old age as the result of God's special intervention. On the contrary, Jesus is born of Mary, who is not only young but also believes God's messenger, unlike Zechariah, who doubted the angel.
The Gospel narrates how Mary receives the message from God and shows how she responds to it. St. Luke writes that Mary pondered what sort of greeting this might be. Why is Mary surprised by the announcement of the angel? It is because, instead of the normal Jewish greetings of Shalom, the angel addresses Mary, "Hail, full of grace, the Lord is with you." It is a sign that with the coming of Christ, a new age is being inaugurated.
Scripture scholars say the language we find here is the language of the temple. When the people of Israel were in the desert, they felt the presence of God through the Ark of the Covenant. Fathers of the Church describe that Mary is new Ark of the Covenant in the New Testament, and God's presence is in her in a special way. Saint Irenaeus of Lyons says that just as Jesus is the new Adam who brings salvation to the humanity, Mary is the new Eve. Mary has gained for us through her obedience, but has been lost for us through the disobedience of Eve.
Ark of the Covenant was the miniature form of the temple. After arriving the Holy Land, they built the temple to worship God. This temple imagery is beautiful for us to understand our relationship with God. For the ancient Jews, there is a close relationship with the temple and the world. They believed that the prayer in the temple helped to sustain the world in order. So, the destruction of the temple is disastrous to the world. When people pray in the temple, the air is filled with the singing of the Psalms, and it purifies the lives of the people.
What a meaningful image for us to meditate on. At the beginning of the corona pandemic, Pope Francis asked all the priests to pray and offer holy masses in their churches. Some people question the need for such prayers when there are no people present. We have built this church as a place of worship. The prayer offered in this place is essential to spiritually sustain our community here. In the same way, those who are coming to church are a symbol that our faith and spiritual life are alive. You are representing the remnants who have given the vocation to pray for everyone around us.
The most important idea in many religions is man's search for God. But here we find a God who's in search of human beings. This is the essence of Christianity, that our God is Emmanuel, which means God is with us. Mary stands here as a good example of how to celebrate Christmas. Today, God is inviting us to carry out our Christian vocation just like Mary, with fidelity, simplicity, and modesty.